If you aren't used to having squishmallows, they have these cute little faces. Usually they'll have their eyes just slightly above halfway. You're not going to draw this yet. You're just looking at the screen. And then they will have either a nose or a mouth right here. They'll have some kind of body color, and then sometimes they'll have additional like ears and things like that.
You are going to draw in pencil
A light sketch. The reason we're drawing in a light sketch is so that if you don't like it, you can erase it easily before we get started working on the main piece. As you can see, some have little beaks, some are just half circle for mouths. Some mouths look like W's for pets, some have tongues, some will have a nose and a mouth, but you'll see that that's the most rare. You don't have to choose an animal. You can. You just can't create a copyrighted creature. So no SpongeBob's, no Mario's, but if it's food, if it's an animal, if it's a tree, generally a lot of the holiday things you can do, those aren't copyrighted. If you're not sure, always ask the teacher. You should be used to the large quick sticks. We also have thin quick sticks at our table to use. Before we do anything, we're going to color these with those paint sticks. They dry pretty quick, but we're gonna pause after we paint with these. If you want to do a bunch of different colors, do a bunch of different colors. Yeah, like if you want to leave something white, I would just leave it white. Like you don't have to paint it white. And I love that you guys know that these aren't like normal crayons. You do kind of have to go back and forth for it to look painted.
If you are finished coloring your squishmallow,
you can start working on the background. Now, thinking about the complementary color. The complementary color is across from it from the color wheel. So here I see green is across from red, so I might use a red or a pink as its background. You really want to use the opposite on the color wheel. When you're done, please raise your hand. The tricks Squishmallow does is they'll use like a real thick line on the outside. So I have some thicker Sharpies to do the outline. If they start getting dry, you can bring them to me and then I will just trade out with you. While the outside is drying, we could start drawing some of these details on the inside. When you're done, choose to either write its story on the back, or you can choose to write its story on the front. Here's an example of a Squishmallow story. Archie. Have you met Archie? This shy mallow has a special talent. He talks with his hands. Archie loves to play soccer and even started a club for mallows to play and learn sign. Someday you might see him play at the Mallow Cup. You will write it either on the front in pencil or the back in pencil, and then once that paint stick dries, you can use your Sharpie on it. If you're working on your background, continue working on your background. If you're done with your background, you can start adding those Sharpie details on the inside of your mallow. Yes. If you're going to write on the back, make sure you're using pencils. So like here I'm going to write meet Carol. Carol likes to build with clay. Big Carol. Carol likes to sculpt with clay. She builds beautiful pots. She likes to watch movies. She eats pastries on Saturday.